Hey, it's your boy King Cold, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your host, Skippy Ickham, right here on Spreaker Podcast Radio, the show that brings you nothing but underground music.
Yo, dressed in all black in the dark, camouflaged by the night. All the lights in the house are off now, and I'm grabbing onto my knife. The back door is unlocked, my mask is on, I'm inside. My freezer needs to be stocked, I'm stabbing all who's inside. So I move in, scan all the rooms. She's all alone like I assume. She's dying soon, but not too quick. I'ma take my time, I'm in a violent mood. Raid the kitchen, fuck buying food. Don't need the meat, she'll supply it soon. I'm on a diet and skinny bitches, I'm eating healthier, I'm trying to. She never stood up, chance, she never stood up. After I severed vertebrae, brain was working, her death was certain. Obsessed with murder and every person, don't ever trust me. I bet I'm worse than the best emerging. Expert working in the field of bringing death to persons, but I'm hurt them.
Watch me put on a clinic, I did it for all who dig it. Nothing but raw, explicit, a visually scarring image. What makes you want to live in that body? You're non-existent. Let me put this knife in your skin and take you to a level we all will visit. Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sleeping in your crib. You know that this might be the end. Looks like you got nowhere to run, and I'm about to have some fun. Staring at the barrel of my gun.
Crept in through the back door with a massive sword of sorts. Seen her at the back of the corridor, wishing she had some boarded doors, but of course it was too late, and I already chose her fate. Closed that gate, seen that fear all up on her face, till her brain sprayed from a flawless blade. Sick-minded, demented, did I mention bipolar, prone to get vengeance? Feeling happy deep down when I hear the chainsaw start with a rev like brain friends, and I really wanna end it, but I've been caught up putting little kids in detention. It's so easy to me, like a sixth sense in the river, bodies get tossed like a pigskin, and she was deep asleep when I went into her room and got beneath the sheets. I just spooned her, I just laid next to her in the bed, shaking while I beat my meat. I'm just lonely, I just want somebody to hold me while I'm rubbing it and eat the skeet. It's okay, babe, I don't really guess, cause she tried to run up out of the room, but I'm quicker than a bitch. She got thrown back quick like a Michelin. Took the knife, then I stick it to her chest. Didn't really want to take it here, babe, but it seems like we can never make this right. So I plugged it in and it pulled it out. The blood sprayed while I drained her life. Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sneaking in your crib. You know that this might be the end. Looks like you got nowhere to run, and I'm about to have some fun. Staring at the barrel of my gun.
As I kick and watch your doors down, I bet you wish that we calm down. 50 shades of pink, like about to break, girl, you know you've been holding out.
Yo, maybe it's the blood that triggered in the face, but the fetish much better when I get a little taste. I peeled off in the raw, in the off fashion. Never try screaming, that shit ain't lasting. Inside my brain is a slaughterhouse. You never even know till the organs out. As I fiddle with the liver, I'ma watch you shiver like my lips to the sight of you all strung out. Sick cocaine, if I can take my thoughts from the pencil. Better keep it broad unlocked when I'm into it. Fall for the mental. Never long guts to these high-strung sluts. Ain't no love with these hoes, don't you know that's never the body up on an old school Kodak. Guess I get the highlight deep in this nut film, but I'm not the side of their blood spill. Bitch, you wish you gave me that chance, but now I'm too hostile. Too far gone, bending your corpse to the spine goes a sign, yo. Swear I don't even know where my mind goes. When half the time, what is in my mind is best seen when your eyes close.
Some murder shit. Murder bitches get away with it. Leave a motherfucking bullet wounded, then I play with it, I'm spraying shit. Licking motherfuckers down, ho, and lick a motherfuckers blood up on the ground, bro. This be the sound, ho. I'm from the town, ho, Pittsburgh. Where all the bitches' bodies found, ho. They talk about my spree on TV. They told my mom they wanna see me. See these eyes realize the pain of life to strain. The lives and crazy dog, that's why I self-inflict with pain. That's why I fuck with Kane. I'm just like fucking man. I pull my motherfucking pistol out in public, man. It's just enough to change. I'm quick to bust my thing. I'm down to load the fucking slug and throw it in your brain. You can't imagine what I've been through. I'll drop the heat and grab my can soon.
Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sneaking in your crib. You know that this might be the end. Looks like you got nowhere to run, and I'm about to have some fun. Staring at the barrel of my gun.
Liquor porn bitches talking. Back corner of the bar, that's a nigga's office. Hand to hands by the bathrooms, these niggas copping. Hennessy, take a sip while I'm fucking watching. Couple broads with the dick, but I ain't take the offer. Quiet vibing out, I ain't really talking. Learn with old age that silence is a chess game. Bobby Fischer, Spassky, questions by the album. Writer's block, why'd you ask me? The strains of making classics. It's hard to make one, but after one they steady asking. So now I'm sitting back, pen and pad for the masses, hoping that a verse take me out to Calabasas. I'm not Drake though, order another drink. This one I'm gonna take slow. The smooth taste of brown liquor. Yeah.
I've been facing this cloud.
Hey yo, Jim, we gonna need to pour another
Time
one.
was hopes that never stopped.
This is Jim Beats on this beat right now.
When I feel this way, my soul
Hey yo, Jim, it's gonna be a
is
long
at
night.
stake. Oh,
Vibing out heavy sounds of the 70s. I can relate. I'm more Al Green and Kevin Gates. Got me thinking about my grandfather. Hope I reach the heaven gates. If I don't pour a drink, hell can wait. Got me thinking about my past. All the money and the beef. Pussy and a a fat ass. Had a nigga losing sleep, cheating women, secret meets, different women now would eat, yeah. Lifestyle with treachery, wasting time, they'd invest in me. Take another drink, the sound of the ice makes a soothing clink. Deep thoughts bring depression, almost bring me to the brink. It's a lesson that I learned from grief, can't express feelings, and so I feed them to the beats. Yeah, and yo, I feed them to the beats. Hey, yo, bartender, I need another one. We just starting this one off. Yeah, I wanna welcome y'all to the Brown Liquor Classics. Well, we got Hennessy on tap. We got it all out here right now. Hey, yo, Chip, we bringing the soul back. Hey, Roscoe, we bringing the soul back, fam.
What am I to do? My mind is
just what I'm doing. I'm just keeping up my hustle and loving what I'm pursuing. Living life on the hustle, built up for something truer. If you wanna know the truth, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing. I've been taking up a break to focus on what I need. Catastrophic till my focus was broken down to my knees. I had lost the love I came to step back and couldn't see. So I'm breaking out the bat, home run to breaking me. I took a break myself in case I'm being true. Through the rap my heart and see, like King, I'm making blues. I was doing all the things I thought I couldn't do. So the time that I get back now, I'm breaking it, coming through. Threw up the future and tore up the game. My partners and brothers that drove me insane. I wrote and regretted and shut on my life. The right on my part of my way. Was stopping and living the past when I see the creatures and the monster determined to me. I'm looking at future, the future was hooked. I thought of the demon that spit on my soul. You owe me your mouth, demons thought that I'm mad. I went through and truth to a filled with regret. I something I thought was risen and cheap. And fighting the demons that tormented me. I look at the future and rock that I see. Captivated by thoughts surrounded by me. Pursuing the future and living is true. Living life on the hustle. So what about you? Breaking out the shadows and doing just what I'm doing. I'm just keeping up my hustle and loving what I'm pursuing. Living life on the hustle, built up for something truer. If you wanna know the truth, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing now.
funny Benjamin and back 'em. Too many bragging, about to start the pistol wagon. Y'all look whack, what happened to the band sagging? Chains dragging, all over the ground and shit. Now you wearing chokers and foundation like a bunch of chicks. Y'all used to be some damn thugs, now they're spinning costumes like a gay club. Y'all smell like Axe, I smell like Prada. Y'all live today, but I am tomorrow. Married to the game, need something blue and borrowed. With my mind on my sleeve, oh happiness and sorrow. It's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic. The game is a damn shame when it became so fucking sad. It's awful bad, it's awful sad, it's worse than that, it's problematic. It's problematic, it's just so problematic. It's just so goddamn problematic. It's just so problematic. It's problematic. It's just so fuck a collaboration. Kill this shit all by myself. You can't share a coffin or your space on Spencer's shelf. Forget the dumb shit. Dudes ain't gonna love you later, but you don't owe them shit, so do not return the favor. Tell them fuck off, because you made this shit yourself. Scrooge McDuck, swimming in your wealth. And you don't give no explanations, cause they can't do the math on how you solve these equations. Look at you, you're big ballin'. Buying up real estate, buy another house, homie, money doing great. Fat Tuesday, fix another fucking plate. Raw fish gumbo, can't fucking wait. Gotta count my money like a motherfucking bake machine. I'm addicted to the game like this shit is nicotine. Jealousy is all around me, all I see is green. Incredible Hulk, who really fucking mean? It's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic. The game is a damn shame when it became so fucking sad. It's awful bad, it's awful sad, it's worse than that, it's problematic. It's problematic, it's just so problematic. It's just so goddamn problematic. It's just so problematic. It's problematic. It's just so. This game is set on easy. If you really put your mind to it, fame ain't hard to find if you put some grind to it. Put some elbow wax on everything that you polish. You will be amazed at everything else you accomplish. Go and get them, Tiger. You want attention from Mary Jane. You also want Black Cat and Symptom on your name. You want Spider-Gwen and all of her friends. You also need some drugs, holla at the Olsen twins. Get your blood where it goes, get money, new clothes. Keep your enemies close, if shit goes down, go ghost. And haunt everyone that ever did you wrong. There's a hex in the audio signature of the song. We the past, present, future of the shit. PRH in your face, loud up in this bitch. Problematic, cause static, make them shake like a crack addict. Flow Jurassic as the part, fantastic. It's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic, it's problematic. The game is a damn shame when it became so fucking sad. It's awful bad, it's awful sad, it's worse than that, it's problematic. It's problematic, it's just so problematic, it's just so goddamn problematic. It's just so problematic, it's just so problematic, it's just so problematic.
Now I can introduce myself, talk about the way that I roll, but you already know myself, there's really never a need to boost myself. Rolling straight to the point, everybody, I'm about to lose myself. Swollen neurotic, erotic tongues, fully loaded like an automatic with a trigger for buck and kill them already. And I've only begun, so for the ones that never heard of me, get you wondering who is the son of a gun. The murder in every single syllable, killable when no who is on the run, undeliverable with. Up in your head, better in your brain, matter like a villainous kid. And the point that I was at a level of chatter that nobody had never heard in such a manner of syllable spread. Getting by the spitting the D, fit it with a 357 up beside of my lid. And then the back release the crack, I'll be taking my brain is a computer that will go with a million gigs. Thank you for what I give and what I give them something that'll give them. Vision sure be something crazy. And my brain been doing it insane. I chop them up amazing day. I wanna chop tonight. Chop a figure tongues tonight. Looking back on the trigger for the tongue take fright. Get the freaking back up on my ride. This is supernatural and exotic from my thing. Putting me into the mud again. When I get ready to kill the traffic, Johnny back in the shaking cause we job tonight.
Everybody wanna be choppers and do it double time. Everybody cocky and talking like they can fuck with mine, but they can never see me when I gotta keep up with my label mates. Never to take a risk and like a bitch, I see you play it safe. Lazy in the pocket, only make it for the profit. All that faking, I can't take it out for a second with the brain. And we bring it to your apocalypse. I came up on Tupac and Big. I knew that when this later, it would never be the same. And who the fuck are you? I gotta keep up with insane. So I turn this semi-auto to a bully beat down. Lyrically, they would never look me in the face. Fuck a fool, and a lot of y'all are whiffing in the streets now. We round, never turn the heat down low. You could be found buried in a deep down hole. And a couple hundred pieces when I cut them with the thesis. Come and see me on the beat now, ho.
I don't even know if they can handle what I give them, but I give them something that'll get them. Vision show me something crazy in my brain and blowing neatly, so I chop them up amazing, tell them. When I wanna chop tonight, you can stick your tongues tonight. Looking back on the trigger for the tongue, take flight, get the flipping back up on arms and by. This is supernatural, traveling, exuding from within, putting it into the mic again. Wanna get ready to kill it, drop it, Johnny, recognize the realest thing you feel it, everybody get the trouble like a loony bin. I wanna chop tonight, you can stick your tongues tonight. Looking back on the trigger for the tongue, take flight, get the flipping back up on arms and by. Also to the N, saying M to the I, trick your tongue, going bang bang on side. Chopping it up with the flick of the tip of the tongue, get the rock, I'm always shaking cause we chop tonight, chop tonight.
What up, it's your boy Jay Caulfield, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground Radio with my homeboy Skippy Ickham on Spreaker Podcast Radio, bringing you the best underground music. Holy shit, it's been years since I touched a mic. Still a piece of motherfucking shit. Yo, I'm an asshole. I'm a fuck up. Every fucking thing I say is fucking fucked up. Yo, I guess that I just fucking suck. Damn right. Fuck. Yo. I guess I'm just a fuck up. I just wanted some love, but I'm getting none, cause I'm an asshole. I don't really care, I think that I'm cool, cocky like a billionaire. I never really learned to shut my mouth. Every single word I say is what goes south. I've got no filter, so there's plenty of pop. Yo, anything and everything is setting me off. What's up, cunt? I never learned to respect. I do what I want. Yo, I'm the worst of the best. I mean the best of the worst. When I'm spreading some dirt. Yeah, fuck your reputation, leave you dead in the dirt. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care, I don't really give up. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care, I don't really give up. I don't give, I don't give, I don't give, I don't give up. I don't give, I don't give, I don't give. I don't give up. Right, once I started making some friends, I go and get myself banned from Facebook again. Yeah, try and calm me down, but the hate doesn't end. I'm an internet asshole, the latest in trend. I'll berate you for your views and point out your insecurities. I hate all that you do, and all of it is luring me to jump up in your comments or get up in your face and tell you since you're different, you're a fucking disgrace. I'm a grade A dickhead, a high-class cunt. Yo, I think I'm gifted and fly as fuck. I don't care if you're my friend, cause friends are for cunts, dude. Before you block my number, just let me say, fuck you. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care. I don't really give up. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care. I don't really give up. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care. I don't really give up. I don't give. I don't give. I don't give. I don't give up. I don't give. I don't give. I don't give. I don't give a fuck.
She bad and she know. She bad and she know. She looking for a real nigga, then it's my time. Tell her she bad and she know. She bad and she know. With all this money, see him looking, but they can't find. Tell her she bad and she bad and she bad and she bad. And out of all these model bitches, man, she catching my eye. She bad and she bad and she bad and she bad. I'm stacking money to the ceiling tonight. I'ma make her mine.
That's right, she bad and she know. That's why she grabbing her toes. Ayo, she happened to pose right when I was rapping the flow. I almost stumbled my words when I took a look at them curves. That's when she proved she was a pro, when she moved that shit in reverse. After that, she gazed up on stage and I saw she was singing my songs. I really gotta say that I was amazed that this bitch was keeping along. Then I took a hit of the weed. That's right, I puffed on the blunt. She was writing hands reach, so I passed it down to the front. I said she bad and she won't just be happy with smoke. Cause she wanna grab me and hope that a bitch could just have me alone. I'm not believing my eyes. Is it just a demon's disguise? Quit with the reasons of why not to dick this breezy tonight. Now as I finished my set, I seen she gave me a wink. Yo, this chick is making me sweat, so I think she's leaving with me. Before I got off the stage, I dropped the mic, good night folks. Then down the steps and to the left was the same broad from my show. Let's go. Let's go.
She bad and she know. She looking for a real nigga, then it's my time. Tell her she bad and she know. She bad and she know. With all this money, see him looking, but they can't find. Tell her she bad and she bad and she bad and she bad. And out of all these model bitches, man, she catching my eye. She bad and she bad and she bad and she bad. I'm stacking money to the ceiling tonight. I'ma make it right.
Now put your hands through the roof. Everybody turn it up, don't press mute. This bitch is hot like a lit fuse, and she don't wanna talk about her issues. I really can't remember her name, but the city of Denver she claims. Like a red hot ember in flames, she's set in the center of dames. When she got to popping her hips, my jaw just dropped like an LP. I really gotta say that I was amazed at how she rocked with the beat. She's like an angel on earth, except she's famous to flirt. It's almost a shame that when she came, I gotta go away and leave her, because she bad and she know. And that's the most dangerous thing. She ain't gonna trick me to wife it and then try to come and take half from me. A bad bitch is my problem, and I don't know what to do. I gotta give it all of my might before I give in to you. Philosophical concepts. You're looking at the president of rap. Better keep a grip on your lady, cause hey, she ain't that attached. I said she bad and she know. That's why she grabbing her toes. Hey yo, she happened to pose right when I was rapping the flow. Let's go.
She bad and she know. She bad and she know. She looking for a real nigga, then it's my time. Tell her she bad and she know. She bad and she know. With all this money, see him looking, but they can't find. Tell her she bad, she bad, she bad, she bad. Now the 40s model bitches, man, she catching my eye. She bad, she bad, she bad, she bad. I'm stacking money to the ceiling tonight, I'ma make her mine. She bad, she bad, she bad, she bad. Now the 40s model bitches, man, she catching my eye. She bad, she bad, she bad, she bad. I'm stacking money to the ceiling tonight, I'ma make her mine. She bad, she bad, she bad, she bad. Now the 40s model bitches, man, she catching my eye. She bad, she bad, she bad, she bad. I'm stacking money to the ceiling tonight, I'ma make her mine.
Luxury Beats.
If you come around me, homie, if you come around me, yeah. Started at the bottom, homie, now I'm climbing up, but I won't stop till they call me sire, higher than I ever been. Acting malevolent, devils and rebel shit forever, bitch. Making booms go louder than you ever can. Wanna go that route, then take some scenics in. I've seen some shit, now be the kid. I'm on some genius shit, not comedic, bitch. But I will grab your soul and find it funny. No more running, you had it coming. If I catch you, duck me, better yet, just suck me, fuck me, bitch. It's your body that I'm dumping. After pumping, ain't it lovely? I'm disgusting, man, I'm bugging. Get me something, cause I'm fading as of lately. Ain't it crazy? I ain't playing, bullets spraying, bodies laying, man, I'm slaying. Get the praying, that's all I'm saying. Motherfuckers need to listen. Evil visions keep consistent. My persistence is resistance, don't you get it twisted. I envision what I witness. My future's all but missing. Judge without a pot to piss, and I'm tired of all you bitches. If you come around me, homie, if you come around me, yeah. I will drag it, ain't no doubt about it, ain't no coming round me, all my riders bout it, am I climbing, man, I doubt it, I'm about it, I will drag it, you ain't about it, I will drag it, ain't no doubt about it, ain't no coming round me, all my riders bout it, am I climbing, man, I doubt it, I'm about it, I will drag it, you ain't about it, if you come around me,
Luxury Beats.
yeah. Man, my zone got to go. Adios, ready, baby, time to go. Cut their throats, let them choke. Grab your coats. It'll be a cold day in hell before I ever ring a bell. Met defeat, kiss my feet. Told you ain't no stopping me. Now I'm free to top supreme. Don't you see? Now let me be. Taking home my destiny. Going, there's nothing left in me. Y'all will not get the best of me. Try at your own discretion. See, I ain't the one to be stressing. If I cut you, it'll be messy. So better count your blessing that I'm focused for the moment. Don't you notice I'm no novice? I came here to provoke this demon. Make it even, man. I'm steaming. I'm not leaving this hunting season. If you commit a treason, then no one's leaving. I'm the reason for the beef and the rice. Yeah, I'm talking to 6ix9ine. If you really a tough guy, come to the burger meat, mine. If you come around me, homie, if you come around me, yeah. I will drag it, ain't no doubt about it, ain't no coming round me, all my riders bout it, am I climbing, man, I doubt it, I'm about it, I will drag it, you ain't about it, I will drag it, ain't no doubt about it, ain't no coming round me, all my riders bout it, am I climbing, man, I doubt it, I'm about it, I will drag it, you ain't about it, if you come around me, if you come around me,
Luxury Beats.
yeah.
Beteendfattande. Beteendfattande.
Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is blackbirds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is blackbirds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Push the trust into mine. Ain't no funny to the plea, drink the bloody seed, now stand back in the face of me. The first in my ears, the hand of the bleed in the skin from my fires and stuff, and seen the memory for quantity for to flex. I'm amused by my tendency to always be a waste, trash bags, exposed without a trace. Using abuse like to beat them that grace. All up when I'm dead, no paper when I'm here. Die young from the game, ain't nothing off here. Ain't nothing off there, ain't nothing off there, ain't nothing off here. In reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is blackbirds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is blackbirds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. God can't save us. None, no be over. Sipping back, spitting off that he's black, but I never look back. Look at me, lines make me happy. Now step so back as it's time to go. Beat till it can't choke. Position of which fix out, never can't hold. No, we all fall down. We all fall down. Vertical crucifix, I'll slay the lamps. River fluid, looses out, don't get the ground. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is blackbirds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is blackbirds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Dreary, but polished back stickers under my eyes. Roll back and drop heavy from that rain pour. The raven fall, it blood all falls apart. the red door. Rapper on 6 times like a 7, but no skip lines. Find great to stage growth and 97 times with no more H. With the man almost alive the cage. Lemon situated up on the wall in the days. The magnets got me twisted. The city's been the lipstick. I fall back, but you can't catch me. I'm falling to the earth. 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 Can't reverse, no hurts. Spotless disperse my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burn at the stage like a fatal witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spotless disperse my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burn at the stage like a fatal witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spotless disperse my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burn at the stage like a fatal witch.
Before we even got to this motherfucker, that's why I look at it. You know what I'm saying? We just living in this shit. Okay? We made a party to something we had nothing to do with. You know, we had to live our life. That's about all there is to it. And they hadn't made it that much more easier for us. And I'm gonna be truthful about it. And I say this in my own sense as a black man. You know what I'm saying? They definitely haven't made it easier for none of us niggas out here. Okay, so we gotta live in this shit just the way it is. You know.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
I couldn't be what I was meant to be. I couldn't live the way I wanted to see. How could I lie when I was going through times? How could I make it if it wasn't on rhymes? I wasn't living the way I wanted to live. I couldn't give the things I wanted to give. What if I told you I was homeless and broke? Turned into the darkness, life was blue and by coke. I had to make it for my daughter and son. Turn into anger and from that to a gun. I wasn't supposed to make this long. I had seen taken from Jesus and from that from a dream. I wasn't born for this world. I wasn't born to be here. My dreams were hopeless and sore. For through the torment and fear, I'm ripping that title down. I'm keeping love for myself, building me up from the ground, full of success and in wealth. Yeah.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
Daddy, where'd you go to? I need and I want you. I'm sick and I'm crying on my knees, but I want you. Know that you were there before I told you I don't do everything that mom says I'm praying. Come on to. What do I get when your name's been written? What do you hit when your face been given? I couldn't take being poor and happy. I wanted more for my kids and family. I wasn't raised to be dumb and stupid. I thank my mother. Don't you wish that you were alive now? Thankful that I'm focused and driven. Thankful for the chance that life's been given. I hope my juggalos will love and feel this. Know that I wrote this with a heart of forgiveness. You may fall for it, we live in the struggle. Produce and market, making life on the hustle.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
I'll be the man that I saw in my dreams. Taken from word to if you know what I mean. Risen from hatred and grotesque on the street. Hustle for money when I needed to eat. I've been forgiven for some things that I've done. I won the battle, but the war she ain't won. I cannot take it if I know it's a lie. Life for eternity, I know I will die. But in my family there is friendship and grace. A family torn a bit with pain on their face. I cannot keep my eyes so blinded by truth. My raging heart in time we tore off this roof. I'm killing only for survival and rise. So when my daughter eyes can look in her eyes and tell her we did it and my heart is stay true. I finally did it, baby, did it for you.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
My life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? is the time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you've never been in it?
Go back and I look up on this shit, just maybe me or worries or so, but it's always what? If I shoulda, coulda. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to see it like that,
Breaking down with the jet dynamite, so sharp at the brain like a violent ghost. Bit buster, I'm bringing the muster. I fill up with the aim at the common folks. A nuclear weapon that's made by iron. Forming the path from the essence of time. Free for the lights, live by the rights, live by the tools of my eye. Look at the dead, do it for the bitches. Gather my army ear by ear. Just like a zombie, no hint to fear. What's this in your little book? It's not, cause I'm prepping the end of days to a fucking page. Giving you a taste of Armageddon before you see the grave. Call up every god you ever knew, water you can seek to find. Once it's dark as incantation, the world is not left behind. Swallowed by a beast, contributed to a dark condition. Brought back in the sun, you're a sacrifice for the new vision. Listen to the static, it's in sync to the ground beat. Forcing altercation when the soil change, nobody's safe. Now we're here, refreshing, get this planet just what it's due. Place purpose on this plate, I must set it true. Step to the left, step right to the world. Make the night of the time from the cemetery. Open up your eyes to a world that is so much better. So much better. Free from the restriction of something more reserved. Let's take it to a different system inside of the earth. I'm gonna bend your mind, impose my own will. With operation, wake the dead, the road new. Hello, my legion, got someone who slits next. Who needs no introduction for his skills when in my specs. I present to you, Lex the Hex Master.
Yo, tonight you've been initiated. Bow your head and take this burden. Darkness is your newest situation. Next level's murder. Welcome to my inner circle. Most will never witness. You my newest henchman. Time to grab your sword and do my bidding. And no worry about forgiveness. There's no redemption, just business. And business couldn't be better. We in the service of killing, cat peeling and casket filling. Just think of it in these terms. You change the course of history. Every cat you sense to the earth. And in turn I make you eternal. Immortal, never be seen. Become the shadows or a figment of these pussy niggas sick as rain. Be their terror, be their nightmare. Total crippling fear. Paralyze them with the horror. That shit that bring them to tears. So do you pledge your allegiance? Promise swear on this pistol to always kill with conviction. Leave the scene with no witnesses. Always move with the swiftness. Murder without a question. Question. And I will be your biggest blessing. Step to the other side, fly to the other side. Illuminate the night of the time for the cemetery. Open up your eyes to a world that is so much better. So much better. Free from the restriction of something more reserved. Let's take it to a different system inside the earth. I'm gonna bend your mind, impose my own will. With operation, wake the dead, the road new.
Yo, what's up? This is Genzo, aka Genzo the Schizo, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my homie Skippy E.A.N. This is Spreaker Radio. Find me on YouTube, Genzo the Schizo. That's Jinzo the Schizo, Skitzo. And find me on Facebook, Jordan Genzo Malden. Whoop whoop.
I love you, now love me too. I've been watching you for a long time, girly. Hello, chicky chick, it's time. Let me bend you over and put my dick in your behind. Black candles, scented like cinnamon, to get you all in the mood. Pretty corpse grip handles, cause you're a couple more pounds. I'm hellbound, but we can put together now when I die one day. But for now, eat the booty like pie, even though your lights out. Dig you out, pull your panties to the side, put my dick in your dead vagina and fill you on the inside. Hentai on the television, so I'm fucking your dead body with tentacles and masturbating. Thrusting and moving my hips, pumping my dick in your dead pussy lips. Yeah, it feels so good. I love you. The feel in my chest. I love you. Tingling in my dick. I love you. Got my hands on your breast. Yeah. Your vagina's so cold, but I can warm it up. Yeah, with a lighter or two, and then I put it in and we start to fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, your hair. I play with your hair. I play with your hair. I play with your hair. Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body
It's that dead body love, and you know I'm a super freak between the sheets, busting skeets, making dead pussies leak. Oh no, the body's starting to turn. I'm ripping up her guts when I serve her with this word. I'm a sick man, a necro fucking philiac, leaving dead bitches jaws full of this nutsack. Amen. Amen. Please say a prayer for me. I turn into a different entity when I smoke this drink. I blaze. So now we pick a body, dig the bitch up to make sure that she's a hottie. She got that little body that makes me so hard. See, sticking my dick in every hole on her body. I'm in love with this dead broad. I'm not gonna front. The only time I see is when I spark up this blunt. So here we go. Time to light it up. So spark up this blunt so I can kill this fucking cunt.
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body love.
God walks down.
Trey, let's go. Creep inside a mind without a guided light. Twin blades on me, I can teach them how to proper slice. Master a ceremony, show them how to rock a mic. Balls around your neck, I can show you how to rock a pipe. Right? This real life with a little spike. Nah, this real life with a little hype. I'm a little dog, but the ball got a bigger bite. Running around the town at 2 GM, player, fuck your life. Lights, camera action on the scene. With y'all it's like a movie, bunch of actors on the team. I am Freddy, I attack and keep attacking in your dreams. Verbs pressing is lucky, don't want action with the team. If he did, Luck's about that action for the green. We them underground goons going ratchet with the beam. Check the scheme, I am mean. You don't want me full of steam. This a warning shot for anyone who wanted with this heat. Go. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for that bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' bullshit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' bullshit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip.
Y'all niggas really on your pivot, huh? But you don't understand the way that I be tripping. Nah, I got the stove jumping, nigga, from the way I'm whipping. I try not to fall, cause I know they want me slipping. Drunk, broke in the alley, somewhere, bottle sipping. Speaking of drunk, are you seeing all the balls I'm hitting? Get a taste of that money and start acting different. I've been to jail, now I'm back and it's back to business. Hope my niggas get parole, interrupt the sentence. Played my role, now you see me coming out the trenches. Starting 5, I was seeing niggas on the benches. See them niggas dunk, see them niggas swish. Plus my flow stunk, I was on my bullshit. I had to pop the trunk, now I'm on my goon shit. Yeah, little nigga, let me make this clear. Check reviews 18, that is rated R. Yeah, haters.
These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, come in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, come in with a full clip. I think it's time to tell you that your time is up. Name a movement out here that could rhyme with us. You shine, we bust, she fine, we fuck. Ain't no I inside a team, but her eyes I trust. Whoa, whoa, so why you hating with your hating ass? To feed the fam, I turn to crime like I'm Breaking Bad. They all laugh, but they don't ask. What your life's like? Me, I had to change that path. I was fast lane whipping, wood grain gripping, gully guns rhythm, how I'm trapping in the kitchen. Local loaf bumping, got the sauce god dripping. Mikey Skywalking, he gon' keep the sauce gods living. I am back, heart stopper, cardiac. I am cracked to the consumer, how I keep them coming back. I'm a bad batch, they hate, well that's rap. I don't care about opinion, shut your goddamn trap, go. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, come in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, come in with a full clip.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Uncovering the Underground. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment. We are hosting our show through Spreaker Podcast Radio. We want to thank all you for tuning in this evening. If you are listening live or streaming this after the fact, please just do us the favor of clicking the share button. Share us around on your social media platforms. As you've heard me say on previous shows, the more you spread us around, the more buzz it creates. The more buzz we create, the bigger and better things we can do with the show. Want to shout out my sponsor, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. Go on to Google, go on to Google and search Tattooed Scumbag. It'll pop up. They got great merchandise, hoodies, sweatpants, t-shirts, beanies, and if you're a tattooed scumbag like me, you'll love it. They're really comfortable clothes and have a good look to them, and it's just a good meaning and a good company here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So check them out. Shout out to my other sponsor as well, Brutal Face Apparel. They also make great apparel for someone who also, like me, is kind of a brutal face bearded bastard. So if you're into, beards and tattoos, whether women or men, check out their site and order some of their clothes. Put in for Tattooed Scumbag the promo code Brutal Business Entertainment, and you get 20% off of your order. We have a fun-filled show for you this evening. We do have, several things to talk over and discuss, but we do, as we do every show, interview a great up-and-coming underground artist. And tonight we do have D.E.A.N on the show. Before we jump too much into D.E.A.N and getting to interview him, I did want to announce a couple other things. We are launching a very large underground rap contest that's going to launch on March 1st from Brutal Business Entertainment, which is my company. Make sure you're checking out for it. If you see it, share it around, spread it to your artist friends, and let's just make this a big, fun contest for the underground to be a part of. Got a collection of amazing prizes for everybody coming up, so definitely think everybody will be really stoked to see what we're offering. Also, some of the shows that we got coming up is going to be February 23rd, Brutal Business Entertainment, which is next Saturday, presents Microphone Murder Sessions Volume 9 at Sidebar in Katanning, Pennsylvania. Got a slew of great artists on that show, so if you're in the Pittsburgh area, check it out. March 31st, we are opening up for Twisted at the Foxtail in Pittsburgh. Make sure you get us up for tickets. May 18th, Toledo, Ohio, Blast in the Glass. June 23rd, Royal Place in South Hills, Pittsburgh area. July 12th, some of our artists will be playing the Ohio Underground Festival in Koshkonong, Ohio. And if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. I can never say that word. And then Devil's Weekend in the same town on October 4th. And then lastly, well, actually, no, that one's not confirmed yet, so I won't say anything too much about that. The next one I was about to say. But got a great bit of shows coming up for Brutal Business. Make sure you check into them. And, stay tuned for every week, every other Thursday, I should say, not every week. We do bring you Uncovering the Underground, bringing you great artists and just talks and discussions. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump into the conversation with D.E.A.N. I want to give a little bit of a spotlight to him. If you're not aware of who he is, D.E.A.N Ray has been in the music industry going on roughly 15 years now. He did countless national tours and shows under the alias of Two-Face. Then in 2015, when his mother passed away, he took a hiatus to reinvent himself into D.E.A.N, which stands for Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. He also is the owner of Bonesaw Entertainment, which produces the strange tales of Autumndale films, comic books, and podcasts. Lastly, he's releasing a collaborative clothing line with Ted Brown called Obscure Trash Clothing, and that is available to you now. Now, without further ado, I want to announce and bring to you guys, D.E.A.N, what's up, homie? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Oh, absolutely, man. I've been a fan for a while now. I just thought it was kind of a must that, got you on the show, got to kick it with you, learn a little bit about you, not only personally for myself, but, get the fans to know you behind the scene, as they always enjoy kind of getting to know the artist that they listen to a little bit more in depth than we get to just from hearing your music.
Right. Yeah, man. Fans are the number one thing that keeps me going, man. So, I have a handful of fans that have been diehard fans since the beginning, and they've stuck with me through. And every fan that I meet or I get the opportunity to reach, I treat like family, man. So I'm excited to make some of your fans my fans.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I mean, that's why I originally created this show. I used to be a part of No Fucks Given Radio on a show that they had, and it was kind of what started me out. And then whenever they ended, I said, you know what, I want to create something kind of my own, a little bit different than this, and just interview artists of all kinds, whether it be horrorcore, hip-hop, heavy metal, rock, techno. I have a dubstep DJ on the next show 2 weeks from now. He does drum and bass and dubstep. I just try to mix it up, meet good people around the world that do different types of music, that are passionate about what they do, and get my fans to hear about them, your fans to hear about us. It's a great way that everybody kind of gets exposure from one another and get to learn about one another.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Meeting people and getting the word out there.
No, absolutely. That's all you can do, one fan at a time, brother.
Yes, sir.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you started out, what brought you to this point where you're at now, kind of an overview about who you are and kind of some of the projects you've put out in the past, some of the things you've worked on, so we get kind of a past on you, and then we'll kind of talk about the future.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I started off in a little town called Deltona, Florida. I grew up in foster care and shit, so when they basically gave me the boot when I was 18, they were like, see you, bro. And so I kind of just was a couch guy, bounced house to house, and that's where I met my homeboy, Dennis, and he went by OD back then. And we started our first group called Southeast Devastation. And SED, I mean, it just blew up like crazy, man, because back in 2004, 2005, there wasn't much like us in our area of I'm just going to say Orlando area, because that's, nobody knows where the fuck Deltona is.
It just makes it easier, yeah.
All right. And so we just started throwing house parties, man, and we recorded our first album. It was like 5 or 6 tracks, and we burned all the CDs and hand painted the cover on them and everything. And our very first show was out the back of a trunk on Gandy Beach in Tampa after a clown show, and we gained a little notoriety there. And our very next show, we did a house show in a 2-bedroom apartment, and there ended up being like 150 people in this 2-bedroom apartment. And we were like, wow, man, we really got something going, because you know, I personally have always been one for theatrics. So, you know, we had the fog machines and the black lights and crazy paint and stuff. And that lasted for about 2 or 3 albums. Then he kind of went in a different way, and I still wanted to keep going. So I found my homeboy Steven. He went by Juggernaut, and we started a little group called Billionaires. And that was a different project. The first SED was more like positive, uplifting, fun hip hop, and then it went more a little bit more dark and gangster rap with Billionaires, and we did 2 albums there. And again, you know, he had kids and shit, so he went a different way. And but like this whole time, SED, our first year, we played the Bomb House at the Gathering. In 2005, we were the last group to ever play the Bomb House before they shut it down. You know, and we started doing bigger shows with my homeboy D Murder down there, and tons of local shows, man. We did a local show almost every month, and we were breaking door records. And then after the Billionaires, man, he, like I said, had kids and shit. So I was like, all right. So I just did the solo Two-Face thing. And I started releasing albums like In Odd We Trust, Cuddle Monster 1 and 2, Bloody Little Box. Krunkenstein was the last big one I did. And, you know, I just was doing shows with Bone Thugs and Harmony, House of Pain, Tech Nine, The Clowns, Twisted, everybody you could possibly think of. And then my homegirl started rapping. I don't know, have you ever heard of Miss Kisa?
I might have heard the name in passing. I'm not too familiar with it, though.
Well, Miss Kisa, she started rapping. She was actually a fan of mine and one of my best friends growing up. And she started rapping, and her career just took off, like, because she was awesome, man. And she actually invited me to go on tour with her, and that's where I did my first national tour. Was with Psycho Jesus's group Akvon and Mars and me and Kisa, and I think the Dead Poets was with us too. And you know, we were on the road for like 2.5 months, 7 of us in a 7-passenger van with 7 people's luggage. We we had some awesome times, man. We had some bad times, but that was my first national tour, man. And then me and her did a little tour with Boondocks, and she did her second national tour, which was split up into 2, and I hyped her for the first half of it, and our homeboy Lyrical did the second half because I was going through some life stuff. And I mean, that's pretty much the history of everything. You know, I've played 5 or 6 gatherings, man. And I can honestly say that I am the hardest working unknown person in the industry, man. Like, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've just released my first album is D.E.A.N, but it was altogether my 16th album this year in total. And I've just been going, man, and I have one of those faces, man, where it's like I'll show up to a show where nobody knows who the fuck I am, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm that dude from SED, or I'm that dude that did this with Keith, or I did this, and they're like, oh shit, okay. So this year I'm really trying to focus on bringing myself forward for the very like first time. I'm putting in, you know, I bought a $700 stage set, and I'm really putting my all in everything, man. So.
No, that's great, man. I mean, I'm glad to hear that because, like I said, I've known about you for a little while now. I've listened to several different sounds of the body of work that you've put out. I mean, and that's something I can say about you is that you're not a one-trick pony as far as your styles and sounds that you can do and have done over the years. you do have one hell of an impressive catalog of albums. I mean, as you just said, I didn't realize it was that many, but I mean, 16 albums. That's a testament for anyone. You know, and you're still obviously in early stages of your writing. You still got a long way to go, I would imagine. So definitely look
Yeah,
forward to
man. Because
see.
I mean, honestly, out of the 16 albums that I've done, I would say like 4 is like top quality. Because I mean, back in the day, we didn't really have the shit that your average rapper has now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it
So
wasn't
it's
that
like
known
most of my
back
old
then.
albums, if you go back and listen to it, you're like, wow, these are good lyrics. This is a good concept, but it's just really shitty quality. But I think I've really stepped my game up over the past few albums.
No, man, your shit sounds great. I mean, some of the tracks that we're gonna play on, you know, like the show later tonight too. The tracks that you sent me, both are amazing tracks. I mean, I do personally like them both. The other one that you sent me, not what the hell was it? It was not Man Made Monster.
Cold.
Yeah, Cold. That is a dope track. I mean, I like them both, but man, that's a super dope track.
Thank you, bro.
But no, I mean, you definitely have an impressive catalog that you've put out. You have worked hard, and it's funny because I've always kind of said that about myself too. I'm like, you know, I put in so much time, a little bit of a different way. I mean, as far as the national touring, I've toured before, but I haven't been able to put on a full national tour like that. So I give you kudos on that end. But I mean, I kind of do it in a little bit of a different plethora of not only music, but the photography, the modeling, the radio, kind of business wise, putting out the business and trying to build that side up. And I always say that that's how I felt for years. It's like I'm one of the hardest working, absolutely unknown people there are.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to change that this year, man. Because like all the stuff I got going on, man, it's gonna be hard to ignore me.
And that's what you got to do. Is there reaches a point where you got to say, you know what, I'm not going to try to get your attention anymore. I'm going to get your fucking attention now. I'm done trying. I'm just going to make it happen.
Just gonna grab you by the ears and scream it in your face.
That's it, and just fucking make them listen. Now you were saying about some upcoming things. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, two things actually, but we'll jump into this one first. Is seen some flyers up and about, and I even kind of inquired a little bit about it. But I see that you have a tour coming up with Razzical coming up. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, man, I am absolutely stoked to get back out on the road. Like you said in the entrance there, after my mom passed, man, I kind of went crazy and secluded myself for a couple years. So this is the first time I've been back out on the road in a good 3 or 4 years. So I've been friends with Raz for quite a while, man. She's an awesome chick, and she told me last year, she was like, hey, I have an opportunity for you. I think you would fit in well. We're going out with a group. It's a death metal EDM group called Luna 13. If you
I've
haven't
seen them. I heard
heard
the
of
name before, but I never checked them out. And when I seen them on the flyer, I remember hearing it before, but I don't actually know what they sound like personally.
Yeah, man, they are dope. And Raz was like, look, I know, you put a lot in your stage show and everything, and I think you would fit in well with this tour. So I was like, fuck yeah, man, I am 100% all about it. And our first show is April 14th in Hollywood, California at the Rainbow Room.
That's how you start it, though, man. That right there is a start to a tour. That's a hell of a, you start it there. You're like, okay, it can only continue to just be a better time because you're starting it out with a bang.
Right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a Sharpie and draw a star on the sidewalk out there somewhere with my name on it.
That's hilarious. You should just don't get caught, man. They'll fucking go in on you out there. Now, I definitely is the tour fully booked at this point, or is there still dates being booked?
Actually, no. We are still booking the tour. If any promoter out there, I don't know if it's going to be a predominantly West Coast, like Midwest tour. But I think it's only going to be about 3 weeks. So, but that's totally up to Raz. She is still booking dates, and if you give me just a second, I'll plug that for her. Let me just find the flyer here.
Yeah, not a problem. We were looking into it as well because we booked Razakel several times here in Pittsburgh. I played with Raz probably at least 8 times at this point. Night
Super
at
dope.
Chunky Heads Festival back in October.
Yeah, when she just did her last tour with Genosha X, which is another one of my homegirls. Saint Senna is actually doing my next album as far as production wise.
He's killer on production. I have him in some of my production actually in the past.
Yeah, man, she came through, man, and I was just blown away, man. It was a really dope show. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, we played with Genosha X and Razakel, and then a bunch of other great cats like Diabolic the Monster, Don Arias, SKX, and all them out at that night at the Shrunken Heads Festival in Anderson, Indiana. It was a good time.
Yeah, man, I wanted to make it out to that, dude, but it sucks when you're an average working Joe and you got to hold down a job and do everything at the same
No, I
time.
hear you, man. That's where I'm at. Is I have a career job, so that's why I said before, touring's hard for me because the time off is almost impossible with a family and a full-time career. 50 plus hours a week. So it's like something I go out and play little mini tours and do. Out-of-state weekends. Like I have 4 out-of-state shows booked coming up, but I mean, I go out and do 1 or 2, and then come home for a little while, go out and do 1 or 2, and then I just play a lot of local Pittsburgh area shows, and then Ohio and stuff like that. But I can't get away too often. But when I do, I love it. I mean, I just love playing. I love playing out of state and meeting new people, and it's always a dope time. So I'm envious of your tour with Razakel coming up. I'm sure it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, and I actually got it pulled up right now. So if you're a promoter or if you are an artist that is looking to tour and you want some more information on doing that, you can email Luna Raz, that's LUNARAZ 2019 at gmail.com.
Perfect. If you're listening out there, make sure you hit them up. It's going to be a great tour. Going to be a great set of music there, so don't miss out on it. If we can figure out the Pittsburgh side, maybe we'll hit you guys up and get you out in Pittsburgh. We're doing a couple other things right now, so it all just depends if it fits into what we can do and where you guys are, even if you're even coming over this way. But
man, I got some people in Pittsburgh, man. I would love to come out there, brother.
What's that?
I said I got some people out there in Pittsburgh. I would love to come out and rock with you, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's why we were looking at the flyer, but we didn't see if you guys were coming over this way yet or not. So we were just kind of keeping an eye out. You said it's mainly West Coast right now, right?
As far as I know, I mean I have nothing to do with the booking side of it. But the only show that's been announced is the California date. So that would be more of a Razakel question.
No, absolutely, I can understand that. Well, no, great. I mean, definitely some big things on the way and some fun times for you. And, talking about big things, why don't you tell us a little bit about your clothing line? I see that, the release date for that was actually earlier today, so now's a perfect time to kind of give a shout out to that. Tell us, where we can check out the merch. I've seen it myself, and it's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Because if you don't know me, I'm a pretty big dude. I'm 6'5", almost 400 pounds, and all the clothing places that I've ever wanted to buy anything from, they never have 5 and 6L shirts, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna make my own clothes, and so we have everything from small to 6XL. And our very first drop was a set of 5 different shirts, a flex fit ball cap, and our first hat pin, which is a My Bloody Valentine pin to kind of mark our birthday as a clothing line. And right now we're also working on leggings and stuff for this collection. For the girls, leggings and tank tops. And after that, we have 2 more drops we're going to do this year. We're going to do a summer release and a fall release. with the summer release, we're going to do a couple more shirts, a couple more hat pins, and we're going to work on some bathing suits. And then for the fall, we're looking into, some more winter type clothing, long sleeves, jerseys and stuff like that. And it's called Obscure Trash Clothing. And it's just me and my buddy Ted Brown. We have always been on the same wavelength about old 80s horror trash movies and Scream Queens and old Universal classic monsters and stuff like that. And so we really wanted to put an homage to what we love into our clothing line. And if you go onto the page, man, and you look at these shirts and the hat and the pin, man, everything is just so colorful and cartoony and different, man, than anything that's out right now. And it's we use the same store as for my albums and my shirts and everything. So if you go to autumndaletheseries.bigcartel.com, that's where you're gonna find Obscure Trash Clothing.
It's definitely dope. I mean, I was looking at some of the designs. I pick up where you're coming from with the designs in the old 80s style. You definitely pick that up when you look at it. It has a fresh look to it. I definitely have always been about clothes myself. I have a very big Skippy Ickham merch line out. We have a Brutal Business line out. So, I mean, it's always been a part of my thing, too, is the clothing that, you can buy other dope clothes, but why not just make your own? Why not share your vision with other people and they can enjoy and you can enjoy your own?
Right. Yeah, I agree, man.
Definitely look forward to seeing what becomes of it, especially with all the plans you just mentioned. I mean, everything from swimming suits to winter apparel and beanies and things like that. I mean, that's if you can take it on full fledged like that and do pretty much every season, every style, then you dominate the market at that point because there's nothing that they can't find of yours that they like. Maybe they're not a beanie person,
and,
but you know what? Maybe they like hats. Well, maybe they're not
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
hoodie
you off.
person, but maybe they like t-shirts or shorts. So I mean, it gives them kind of everything.
Right, dude, right. And there's some people out there that are doing that right now, man, and I love it. They just don't have big sizes. And I think that's what I'm trying to capitalize on is the fact that not everybody is a medium, you know what I mean?
No, and that's the thing is, and I'll be the first to tell you, with someone who has a lot of merch, I usually will keep small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, and 3XL. I don't usually get beyond that. I will special order, so if someone comes and says, "Oh man, I really want a 4 or 5X in that shirt or a 6X," I will do that. But I do that upon special request only, and only the reason being is I don't run across as many customers looking for that, so I don't keep it heavily stocked. Because the price of making it so much more that if I end up sitting on it, it's a hurt for me compared to a bonus. So I usually just keep upwards of 3X, and then anything above that I special order. But I get what you're saying is because I have had people ask me before, can you get this size or do you have this size? And I'm like, oh, unfortunately I don't. No, I can get it to you, but I'm not ordering this specific design again maybe for another 4 months. So in 4 months I can have your information taken down and I can get a hold of you. But the chances there's a good probability that you're not going to end up getting that sale.
Right. Fat people get mad, man. I get mad.
That's the slogan of the night. Fat people get mad.
Yeah.
And I can see that because I mean, even if you do hit them up, a few months later, the chances are that the mood's passed. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, I mean, I would have probably bought it off you that night, but at this point, I got other shit going on in life, so the moment's passed. Sorry about it.
Right, right.
Yes, if you have it in stock, you're ready to roll. Another reason is obviously, I mean, it's just science. Whenever I'm going, or math, I should say, not science. Whenever you're going to a lot of these shows, I can't park close to the venue, so I end up carrying my fucking tote with all my merch, 3 blocks or 4 city blocks of this goddamn tote. So I try to carry as much as I can in one tote, and the bigger sizes take up more room. So I'm like, I can't carry as much merch, so I try to pack as much of the regular shirts as I can. Usually a couple, 2X and 3X, but sometimes people be like, oh, I really want a 3X in that design. And I'm like, well, shit. I'm like, yeah. I can get it to you. It's about 5 blocks away. I'll be back.
Shit, that's why everywhere I go, because I do horror conventions and shit too, so everywhere I go, I take one of these suitcases on wheels, man. Fuck carrying a big old tote. I just could roll that bitch in there.
So I did end up buying. It works good to a certain extent. I did end up buying like a cargo dolly, which is lays down flat, has four wheels, and you can throw your totes and boxes on there, and you can just pull it behind you. So that's not too bad. I don't take it everywhere I go because it's bulky and it's a pain in the ass, but it is nice as far as like if I'm carrying a lot of merch to a bigger show, I have 3 totes with me. Go back 3 times and do this. I stack them on it, bungee cord it together, and then I just drag it to my show. That's a pain in the ass. Trying to walk through like downtown city, fucking hundreds of people walking by, and you're trying to push this huge ass dolly cart with merch on it. Still pain.
Fuck them. They're in your way. Knock them over, man.
Well, fuck yeah, you knock them over. I just don't want to hurt my merch. Anything else big? I mean, obviously we know the tour's coming up, which we talked about, which is obviously a fucking huge thing, and I can't wait to hear how that goes. Keep an eye on it. Like I said, if it comes over towards Pittsburgh, there's a good chance that we'll either try to bring it to Pittsburgh or we might try to be involved in it if it's somewhere close and come out and be, maybe one of the openers for it or something. Get to chill with you guys and rock out together. But we talked about that. We talked about the clothing line. Anything else big you got coming up? I know you work with different film and different things that you're doing with the series that you're working on. Do you have anything coming up with that?
Yeah, man, absolutely, dude. Actually, we got 3 more big things coming out this year. And about, I want to say by the time I tour in April, my second film in the Autumndale series is going to be done. It's called The ARC Interviews, which the ARC stands for the Autumndale Reconditioning Center. Basically, long story short, man, is I have created a universe, the Strange Tales of Autumndale universe. Autumndale is a fictional town where it was cursed in the 1800s by this witch, and since then all this crazy shit's been happening. And in the mid, I want to say 1900s, they started a agency to kind of protect the town of Autumndale, sort of like a Men in Black type thing. Nobody knows they exist, but they house spirits and monsters and ancient relics and stuff. So I have stories that, like my last comic book I just released, the 3rd comic book was Strange Tales of Autumndale, Oh Holy Bite, which is a werewolf Christmas story that happens in 1912. And if you actually look at your history, there was a full moon on Christmas Eve, 1912. I really do my history research for this thing, man. And while the movies are super low budget, like my first movie, Porcelain, I shot for about $1,000, man. Put $1,000 into costuming and locations, and basically had a bunch of local actors help me out with it, and it came out really dope. We made it look like a VHS that was made in the 80s. This one's a little bit more clean cut. I wanted to do an anthology. It has 4 different stories where you meet you see the locations of Autumndale more. You meet some of the characters that are going to be relevant to the story, in the grand scheme of things. Like, because to me, the main character of my series is the town. So I wanted people to get familiar with the locations, like the bar and Blackbird Asylum, and all these different places in the town. That's going to be a reoccurring theme that leads up to the big, the big bang at the end. And basically, man, we did 3 comic books, and because I can't draw, I had to hire the artist. And so I spent about $3.5 grand doing 3 books. And to be honest with you, man, I haven't even broken 500 in sales between the 3 books, because comics, for some reason, are just a lot harder to sell. So basically, we're Xing out the comic books, and we're starting Autumndale, the podcast, coming this fall. And we're going to take 10 stories from the series and actually do them like old radio style, and have different actors play different characters and have sound effects and cool music to go with it and stuff. So it's going to be like, your Orson Welles and the War of the Worlds and stuff like that. So we'll have the next movie coming out in April, and then the podcast in fall, and then hopefully what I'm going to do is use this all as a proof of concept and kind of pitch around to a few major studios to see if they like the idea.
No, I think that's amazing, bro. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that I was drawn to your artistic vision as well, and your music and everything, is because I look at that very similar to myself. That I don't just make music. I mean, I'm involved in music. I do, like I said, photography on my end, and do a lot with modeling and photo series that I put out. I haven't got to dip as much into the photo series as I'd like, which is going to be kind of an inside glimpse of darker scenes in life. I was going to do a portrayal of starvation, of addiction, suicide, different things like that, where it is several pictures almost in flip book style. As you click next each time and over and over again, it just flips through and it actually moves and tells a story with absolutely no words. And I started doing some of that. One of the releases that I did was called the Southside Slasher series, and the first chapter I put up, they actually deleted my company's Facebook page. They deleted my Instagram. I don't know what kind of chord I struck on these people, but instantly they not only blocked my accounts, they actually shut them down and deleted our pages, lost thousands of fans, had to start over again.
Wow.
And I got kind of tied up with some other projects and haven't got to go back in and work on that as much as I'd like. But I wanted to get into like the starvation, the homelessness, the suicide, addiction, and just show these different dark, gloomy scenes that are around us that we deal with in life. And that's something I was doing. So I really like when I hear an artist say that, oh, I don't just make music. You're doing the podcast series coming up, which would be awesome. I mean, whenever you were saying about that, it was funny because you mentioned Orson Welles and War of the Worlds, and that's what I was thinking whenever you said that. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that title. That would be something very different, and something I think a lot of people would want to tune into and check out because it has that old school feeling. Anybody that's a horror fan, or just someone who likes to think outside the box and be a part of some type of creative thing outside the box, is going to want to be a part of that because it's interesting. And like you said, one of the biggest things that stuck out to me is not that any specific character is the main character, but the town itself is the main character, and I love that.
Right. And I mean, the cool thing about it is it's going to get the Autumndale fans a chance to be involved because I'm turning to them to be the characters, man. Anybody that has a recording setup, I told them, hit me up if you want to do some voice work, and I'm gonna try to get some of these underground rappers in on it, man, and really make it a dope thing that's gonna. I think we're gonna do 10 episodes to start and release 5 in the fall, and then do like 5 more in the spring, just to kind of break it up a little bit. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of work and a lot of fun though.
That's the thing, is like, even with myself, I think it's a gift and a curse because it'd be a nice thought to just do music. It's like sometimes I'm like, why do I get myself into all these things that I'm involved with? But at the same time, I can't stop if I wanted to. I have to be doing a little bit of everything. Like I said, the photo series, the photography, the music. I started writing a book, which is kind of always a kick in the gut because I've been wanting to write a book most of my life, and I started writing one. I have 3 chapters of this book written, so it's not very much yet, but the 3 chapters are quite fucking good. I mean, I read them. I had a couple people do some test reading of it, a handful of close friends and people in the industry, and people had given some really good reviews back on it, but I just can't seem to find the time to be able to sit down and write a book, man. I can write lyrics like a motherfucker. I can do everything else pretty to a top-notch efficiency level, but I'll tell you what, the writing, I realized sitting down and trying to actually write a book, at least for me, is one trying obstacle. I write 5 pages and I scrap all 5 of them.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it's a hard fucking process. Like I'm heading to New Orleans for a week to go down to J-Day and all that. But I told my wife, I was like, look, while I'm down there, I really just want to take my laptop and sit in the French Quarter and just sit and write while I'm there for a few hours. Because sometimes when you sit in the same four walls, your ideas get stale. So you need to get out there and get that inspiration, man. So yeah, it's a hard thing to create a universe, man.
It really is, and I mean, like you said, and that's something I've always yeah, I'm kind of on both sides of the circle there. Is I completely agree that getting out of your normal four walls helps you expand your mind and helps you write. But I'm also the same person who is subject to that because sometimes I find myself not doing what I need to go out and maybe get some more influence by. I used to take a walk a lot, just kind of clear my mind and do it. I've noticed some of the best writing I've done is when I've been on vacation or out of the country. So it seems like when I'm away from my comfort zone, when I'm away from home, is when something clicks in my brain to allow me to write. And I can still write pretty decent here, but I think that's a big part of it is you sit down and you go to write the book or you go to write lyrics and you're just too much in your comfort zone to be able to reach inside yourself and write. So I need to, listen to what I'm saying here and go out and take walks and get a little little ways away from the house and maybe start to write again because I've been trying to write that book. Like I said, I got the 3 chapters pumped out great, and then it's like for the last year, I haven't got the chance to work on it a whole lot. And every time I do, I just throw away everything I write because I don't like it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
it
could
just
be better
stops.
it just stops, and I think I'm a extreme perfectionist as well. So it's like I'll write it, and it might be amazing to everyone that reads it, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is fucking garbage. But it always pushes me to be to the next level, I guess. So it's like I said, it's a gift and a curse. You always got to be the next level. You're never happy where you're at, but at the same time, by having that mentality, you always reach the next level, and you get to do a lot of fun things. Like even with your comic book, you said it didn't go as well as you were really hoping it would. So it wasn't necessarily the vision that you had originally planned out, but at the same time, you can sit back and say, "Hey, we created a comic book."
Yeah, it's like, damn, I fucking did that shit. Like, don't get me wrong, man. With the comic books, all the art that I hired these artists to do is gorgeous. Like, and that's the thing about the comic books is each one has a different artist, and they brought such their own life to it, and brought those stories to life. And the books themselves are awesome. It's so much harder when you're not a brand name like Marvel or DC or Dark Horse or something like that to say, hey, I have this comic book. You want to check it out? And 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to be like, I had, if I'm at a convention or something, people go to conventions with a certain amount of money because they want to meet this person and they know exactly what they want to get. They don't really want to shell out that $5 to $10 for this new book that they might not like,
It's hard to get people to step out of their comfort zone, and then, like you said, they're used to the name brand. So whenever you get into people that read comics and like comics, you narrow down your criteria a good bit there to just the people who like comics. So you already work with a small group. Then within that group, you have people that specifically like certain brands and certain companies, and that's all they read or they check out. So you have to find within that group the small percentage of people that do like to expand out and try new things, maybe buy it and maybe they'll love it, maybe they won't, but it starts to narrow down your customer base and it narrows it down to a point where you're not getting the reach that you were hoping for, and it can't seem to break beyond that because, like you said, they only have a certain amount of money, and they're like, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to spend it on you because I don't know if you're any good. Meanwhile, you could be the best damn comic they ever read. So definitely trying to break above the levels that are set on certain products like that.
Right.
That's great. Though, why don't you tell us where? So with the with the with the things that we were just talking about, with the podcast coming up, with the short films that you have done, why don't you tell us where we can check some of that out at?
Well, basically, if you want to buy physical copies, it's the Autumndale the series.bigcartel.com. Now, I do have a website that I try to keep updated, but it's one of the Wix sites, man, and it's it's hard because when you have one of those Wix sites, they make you have such an outrageously long name that it's hard to tell people most of the time.
Yeah,
but
it's like 17 words. Look me up at www.you'renevergonnafuckingrememberthis1.com.
Yeah, exactly. But if you just click or you type out in Google Autumndale Wix, it'll bring you to my website. It's autumndalebse.wixsite.com. And basically, you know, I have everything there from my films to my comics to the music to the store link. Everything is right in there, and you can see the trailers for the new movie coming out. You can see the trailers for the old movie. You can see some of the examples of the comic book artwork. And then, you know, everything I have is over at autumndaletheseries.bigcartel.com. That's where you could buy my last album, Nocturnal Bloodlines. You could buy my last movie. Pretty much everything is up there for sale.
That's awesome. If you're listening out there, guys, make sure you check it out, search it up, and you know, pick some things up. You'll be very happy. I've got to watch and listen to several different things that D.E.A.N has released, and it never fails to amaze me. So make sure you check it out. I think you guys will be very impressed with all of the different plethoras of art that this guy is releasing for all of you. So, you know, check it out and enjoy, because you don't get to see someone, like I said before, and I've mentioned, I don't want to be too repetitive on it, but there's so many people that are just artists, and that's great. You know, they just make music, or they just do this, they just do that. But when it's someone that's a true, you know, artistic mind that is able to define, you know, or defy just being one thing, and can, you know, be doing short films, books, comics, podcasts, music. You know, it's those artists that really stand out to me, and you're definitely one of those. So, I mean, you know, kudos to you on everything you're releasing. And since we've talked about some of those things, I think now would be a good time to kind of give a spotlight to the first song tonight. We'll take a break and play this song for everyone, allow them to hear a little bit of what you do if they're not already aware, come back and talk a little bit about that, and then I'll start firing away some questions with you, and then keep the show moving. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Man-Made Monster, give kind of a spotlight into it, and we'll go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, Man-Made Monster, it's actually Man-Made Monster Part 2. The first one was on Krunkenstein, and I did that with the beautiful Miss Kisa, but I wasn't really done with what I was trying to say in that song, so I did the Part 2, and Danny Drive-By, formerly known as Fetus, and Mad Max jumped on the track with me, and they absolutely schooled it, and it's one of the dopest tracks on the album.
Well, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump into this, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Man-Made Monster Part 2 from D.E.A.N, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground. We'll be back in just a minute.
Danny, yeah. Woke up and I feel magazine on the big as a book, for real. Wishing a nigga would like Pinocchio. I hit him with the okie doke. Funny they should look, I feel. Half of these out here are hundreds and fake. Got shooting and shit with a gun in their face. I don't stun, I don't play. I be running in places, I'm running your place. Bitch, who's running this back? Got a 45 in the house, I'm sure that you finna drive. I'm going, you waiting to come, you chilling inside. I got the dope in the pistol, money and missiles. To punish my opponents that made me angry, so it's sound design. If you want it, you got it, you got my attention. No in between friends when you shot when you slipping. A Glock with a clip and I'm shooting like Pippin. You throwing words at me, bitch, I can't just hit it. Man-made monster, don't nobody want you. Society has made us, now we back to haunt you. Man-made monster, don't nobody want you. Society has made us, now we back to haunt you. Hold on back and fucking wait a minute. I'm just a product of the place I'm living. I don't give a fuck about a fake religion, give a fuck about a state of politician. I don't give a fuck about most shit. I be getting stoned going through the motions like a heroin needle that's poking into your skin. Bro, my flow is killing something every time it goes in. Who won't smoke with Max and Dean and Danny? Y'all are liquor, Molly, Coke, and Lean and Zanny. Bro, the gang eternal, y'all don't understand me. Me and Drive-By been down since Fetus. Family real, recognize real, recognize real. You looking unfamiliar, homie, that's my deal. Everybody know your boy's been rejected by the devil. Call a motherfucker Wolf J. Flywheel.
and we are back on Uncovering the Underground. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment. Tonight we have on the show D.E.A.N, Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. And, we just got done listening to the song Man-Made Monster Part 2. Definitely an awesome fucking track. As he had said before the break, that is featuring Mad Max, and that is featuring Danny Drive-By, formerly known as Fetus. Awesome track, definitely something that I've listened to and actually played on the show, I think, the last few weeks, consecutively. It's a track that I feel needs spotlight and people should be hearing more of. Another one of the reasons, that I wanted to get you on the show, because I've been featuring you on the show the last several weeks on the music. I've already known about you for a while, but I'm like, you know what, why don't we get you on the show and get to know you? But we've been doing a lot of that this evening, a lot more still to come, definitely an awesome track, man. I'm digging it.
Thank you, man. We got a music video for that coming out very, very soon. Me and Danny Drive-By have our parts filmed, just waiting on Mad Max. And it's hard to do it because we live in different states, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I got to wait for them to film their part and send it to me, and I got to edit it in and stuff. But so far, it's came out really dope.
No, that's what's up. If you ever get the chance, you should check out Donna Rice's music video for Delusions. We did that same thing. He shot it in Texas. Donnie Menace shot it where he's at, and then I shot it here in Pittsburgh. We sent the parts into Donna Rice. He put together a video and released a music video of all three of us in there. It's a dope video. It's a fucking killer song. And we never met up to do the video or any of that or the recording. It was all just done separately and pieced together, and it was done very well.
That's awesome, man.
Now, do you have an expected idea of when you think that video is going to release? I mean, obviously, there's still some work to go, but do you think, you know what month it's going to come out, or is it still kind of up in the air right now?
Hopefully it's going to come out next month. I have right now from the album of Nocturnal Bloodlines, I have two out. One's called Satanic Panic. The second one is for Real Shit featuring Mr. 420 out of Georgia. And then I have another solo track, Just Me, that I'm working on the video for, which I might actually be shooting some in New Orleans. And then the last one that'll come out is Man-Made Monster 2.
Okay. No, that's what's up, man. I was watching, I think it would have been the Satanic Panic one. I was watching that the other day on YouTube. So how many music videos you have out so far right now?
Oh, man. Since the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 or 9, including a cameo of Miss Kisa's Uncontrollable video, and I think that's it, man. And as well as the sound production, you can definitely see the quality of music video that's been coming up. Like, I mean, the most plays I've ever had on a video was my Alice Cooper cover. I did Feed My Frankenstein in a hip hop remix, and that's got over 10K views. And then the farther back, I did a video for a song called My Nightmare, and I actually got death threats for that video because I talk, it's a very horror based song, and I talk about rape and stuff, and it got put on 4chan of all places, and people were sending me like death threats and shit, man. And I'm like, dude, it's horror based music, like it's Last House on the Left in the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, but people were hating it.
You know what though, man, if you don't get death threats at least a handful of times throughout your career, you're not doing something right. Because I'll tell you what, I've been there myself. I've released some pretty dark music, and I've definitely no stranger to talk about the subject of rape and murder in my songs, obviously. And I've gotten some major shit for it. I've, like I said, released a horror photo series that I put out that was very heavily horror based and murderous. There was some foreshadowing of rape in it, but I show anything with actual any pictures to believe that there's rape. I just kind of foreshadowed to it, and I think that's what sent everyone on the fucking internet into a panic, and I got my shit reported like 40 times in a matter of like an hour or so. when they did that, they just straight shut my account down, like I was mentioning earlier. So sometimes people just lose their mind. But no, there was a time period where I had gotten several messages of death threats and just crazy psychos messaging me. And it's funny because, you know, the shit that you're saying to me is crazier than the shit that I'm saying on the song. But yet you're upset about the shit on the song to make you want to say that to me. So it's a really crazy, like, mind fuck when you think about it. And it's usually like the Christian people and people that are like really super ultra religious that are coming at me like, your song disgusts me, you should fucking die, you vile creature. And I'm thinking like, listen to you, bitch. You know, like, what the fuck are you saying to me? And it's crazy how that works. And I mean, I had it. Now, it's been a while, and I haven't had any death threats in the last several years, but I've certainly got some. And now that I've told you that, I'll probably get off and have like 6 of them tonight, but it's okay. Definitely have had my fair share. And so if you're not getting them, you're not doing something right, brother. You got to push the bounds.
Right.
So no, that's awesome though, man, and you know, I'm glad to hear that, you know, you have quite a plethora of videos out. I think we're right around the same number. You might be a little bit above me. I think right my last one I released, which was Almost Famous from Skippy Ickum, it was, I believe that was my 8th music video that I'd released. So one of the things I always prided myself on was the visual side as well, just similar to you. You know, the quality is definitely there. Not only did I put out music videos, but I wanted to do music videos that told a story, that were very horror based, very well filmed and edited and directed. And Tragic Hero Productions was the company I worked with for years that allowed me kind of free reign of bringing my dreams and my thoughts to life inside my videos. And Dan has done a great job of that. We have talked about putting out a short horror film together. I just have so many other things on my plate that I haven't found time to be able to you know, get the funds wrapped up for it, to get the screenplay completely finished with it, and then bring that to life. But sometime in the next handful of years, I will be putting out a horror film that I am working on as far as the screenplay, and hopefully finishing that book at some point in time too. So we'll see. It's just as you know, I'm sure there's just never enough time in a day, especially when you're, you know, minds like ours and you want to be kind of involved in 15 different things. It's hard to ever get them all done.
Right. Dude, I got a desk in here that's covered with literally 30 notebooks and just sprawled out papers and everything. Just this, like, notes and a few bars here and a few bars there and a few script ideas here, and like, it's my wife thinks I'm insane, but when I get shit done, she's like, "Oh, okay, I see."
And that's it. You just got to pump things out. And it's like I always keep such a big list that I don't feel like I get anywhere. But if you honestly look at what I've done, you know, over the last week, the last month, the last year, it's very impressive. But I still look at it. I'm like, oh well, I knocked 10 things off the list, but I have 70 more on here. You know what I mean? And you never get it done.
Right.
So you're like, I'm not getting anywhere. But meanwhile, everyone around you shaking their head like, how the fuck's this motherfucker doing this? And you're like, I'm not getting anywhere. Yeah, like I said, it's that gift. It's that gift and curse thing, you know.
Right.
I want to fire away some questions at you, just kind of pick your brain on some funny topics and just some random things that I'm sure the fans would like to get to know. I asked, you know, a couple of my guests over the last several shows this question, and I said, if you had to describe your life using only film titles, what would you, how would you describe that?
Oh fuck, man.
Putting you on the spot.
Damn, that's a hard one.
I know it is.
My life and a movie title. I'd have to go with one of the classics and one of my favorites, Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing But Trouble. There you go. That's good though. See, and that's why I like to hear it. I like to hear what everybody comes up with, you know, for themselves is how they would describe their life, and that's awesome. Now, I guess at the same token, if you had to, you know, name your autobiography, what would you name an autobiography about D.E.A.N?
Funny story. I'm doing a life documentary about myself, and the title of it is called "Fuck, I Did That."
No, that's what's up. I like it. That's a great title. Like, oh fuck, I did do that. Yes, I did. I think we've all had those moments that we look at something we've done and we're like, wow, yep, that definitely was me. I did do that.
Right.
That's awesome. And I asked this question to some people, and I kind of like this question because there's such vast answer that you could get off it, and And the question was, if animals were to take over the world, and then there would be like a hierarchy of animals, and they pretty much, wipe the population of the human beings off the face of the planet. They take over. Which animal would ultimately be the ruler? And the cool thing about this question is, you could go with the fastest animal, you could go with the strongest, you could go with the smallest and deadliest. There's so many different outcomes you could pick, and I'd like to see, who do you think would be the ultimate ruler of the animal kingdom, and why?
I have to say Bigfoot.
Oh, you're going mysterious with it.
Yeah, because you've never seen the motherfucker. Oh, I've personally never seen him, but he's out there and he's
out there.
ninjaing
You don't
around.
see him. He's big. He's deadly.
And that means Bigfoot is a ninja. So I'm pretty sure that a fleet full of Bigfoot ninjas could take over the world.
No, that's my next tag here. Hold on, Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a ninja. That right there, that needs to be put on a shirt. That's your next shirt idea, brother. Bigfoot's a ninja, and on the front of it, just have like Harry and the Henderson looking motherfucker with like a ninja suit on and a sword.
I fucking love that movie. I watched that for the first time with my wife the other day, and I literally almost pissed myself laughing so hard. And she was like, "Dude, it is not that funny."
Oh no, that's a great movie, but I can't believe that was your first time ever seeing it.
No, it was the first time she ever saw it.
Oh, first time she saw it. I was gonna say, damn, I've seen that movie like 60 times.
Yeah, man. No, I'm a total. She hates this word, but I'm a cinephile, man. I love fucking movies. So I always try to show her some shit from when I was a kid, and she's just not interested.
Well, you want to hear something really cool about Harry and the Hendersons? So me and my wife last year in August, we always go on vacation somewhere, and whether it be camping or we do something crazy every few years, and we go somewhere across the United States or sometimes even out of the country. We went to Seattle, Washington, and we stayed in a cabin in the Cascade Mountains. And when I say we were in the fucking mountains, we were in the mountains. I mean, you would leave the city, and it was an hour and a half drive into the forest. And for the first 45 minutes, it was leaving the city, the outskirts of the city. And for the remaining 45 minutes, it was just dark, dense, humongous fucking evergreen tree forest. And along that road, that's like pitch black at night, and you can't fucking see anything. And it's a whole different type of dark, man. I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of dark in my life. The dark in the Cascade Mountains in Seattle is a whole different type of dark. And along the road there to the right is the actual little espresso shop that Harry and the Hendersons was filmed at. The woods right behind their location is where they filmed it, and right around where our cabin was. And they have like a giant 30-foot tall Harry and the Henderson carved out wooden statue right in front of their little espresso shop, and the same family that was there when they filmed the movie still lives there, and it was all based right around their location. So whenever I seen that, we had to stop real quick. We took pictures and everything. Really cool, little side stop, just random
That's
thing.
dope.
We didn't know that. We were just happened to be in this little cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere in the mountains, and 3 miles from our cabin is where they shot the movie.
That's super dope.
It's definitely pretty cool. And you mentioned earlier too that your hat pin that you have is for My Bloody Valentine. That's another thing. The original was not shot there, but the remake, My Bloody Valentine 3D, was actually shot in my hometown of Katanning, Pennsylvania. They shot it in some other areas too, but a huge portion of that movie is the same small town that I actually grew up in. And it's funny watching that movie because there's a scene where they break through the back of the store and he drags her out the window. That was like a store that me and my mom would go to and get groceries when I was a kid. It was just really strange. I'm watching the movie. I'm like, yeah, we used to walk up and down those halls, when I was like a fucking 5-year-old. It was really cool to see.
That's awesome.
Now, keeping the strange questions coming to you, let's see what else I got on this list for you. This is kind of an interesting question, and it can be taken many different ways. It says, if you could steal credit for any great piece of art, song, film, book, etc., and know that you could get away with it, which one would you claim?
Ooh. Oh, man. I could steal credit for anything, it would have to be a movie, and I'm gonna narrow it down the best that I can. If I had the chance to get away with it, I would say that I came up with the Back to the Future series.
There you go. What a great series.
Yeah, man,
I just remember being a
there's
kid
something
and watching
about
it
80s,
over and over.
like there's something about 80s horror or just 80s movies in general that you don't get the same feeling from when you watch a film anymore.
I agree with that 100%. Me and my wife have talked about that many times. We watch old school 80s movies, and it just the look to it, the feel and ambiance of it, the music in it, obviously, because I mean, that's another thing. 80s music. It was a time period. I mean, every era has its era. The 60s, the 70s, they all have great things that are noted for that era of music. But 80s music was just like this completely off the wall bonkers. Like I think of like Van Halen and the keyboards and all the fucking like Flock of Seagull type shit that was out in the 80s, and it cracks me up.
Well, I
And it
mean,
was
if you look back at it, man, almost every movie back then had its own soundtrack. Like one of my favorite bands in the world is Huey Lewis and the News, and they did like specific Back to the Future songs for the movie. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's so many movies. Like Alice Cooper did one of the Friday the 13th soundtracks, and like that's another thing that isn't done much anymore.
Yeah, no, that is very true. I mean, I just think most artistic things in general over time have been saturated and ruined. I mean, music in general, obviously, there's still great music out there. So I don't want to be one of those people say like underground's, rap music's dead or metal's dead because it's never gonna die. I mean, there's always great, amazing artists out there, but the shit that they pump on a mass level to everyone on the radio of all types of genres, whether it be country, which isn't country anymore, it's country pop, whether it be mumble rap bullshit that has no fucking meaning to it, whether it be bands that literally just play 5 minutes of non-stop breakdowns in the death metal circuit and don't actually have any guitar skills whatsoever. They're pumping us this dumbed down formula of music, and it's the same thing with music. It's the same thing with pretty much everything in the industry, that they just force feed us this watered down bullshit that wasn't the case when we were growing up. And that's the sad thing, is everything was original back then. Everything was new and fun and different, and over time, instead of making new ideas, as you know now, the last decade or even more, all they've done is recycle the same movies and make remakes of the movies and prequels to the movies and adaptations of the movies. And okay, now that we made 17 of those fucking movies, let's take a character from that movie and let's make a whole spin-off series from that character. It's like the creativity has died.
Yeah, man, and that's, I mean, honestly, as much as I want to be original with Autumndale and stuff, there's everything in the world has been done. But I can honestly say that I am seriously trying to not be the Hollywood formula in storytelling. That's why everything in Autumndale is a different decade or different century, past, present, future. There's always something different about it because I don't want to rehash the same old shit.
Well, and that's it. It's okay to be influenced. There's nothing wrong with taking root elements of something else and using it into your own thing and adding to it and growing from that. It's when you're taking the same roots and you're just planting them, just in a different spot. It's the same fucking thing, and that's the problem. Is they keep making remakes of movies that aren't even as good as the original, and it's like you watch it and you're like, all you did was taint, what we love. And I hate to even say, because I feel like I'll jinx it and watch it end up happening, but like Back to the Future, an amazing fucking series of movies, and God forbid they end up making remakes of all of them, but I could see it happening in the next 10 years because they've pretty much taken all of the movies we loved, and they're remaking them all. I mean, it's everything. Now the big thing 2019 is the remake of horror movies like Child Play. They released it a year or so ago. Now they're releasing the other second side of it, I think, this coming year. But it's just taking these same old horror movies and just redoing them, But honestly, I don't give a fuck how good you make the new Child's Play, how good you make the new Pet Cemetery. They're never going to match the original that we remember as kids scaring the shit out of us.
Right. And at the same time, man, I mean, I don't want to derail from other questions, but this is something that I feel pretty strongly about. You got to think of the other side of it too. At some point, the director of these remakes was a kid sitting there watching those movies and was like, damn, I would love to make my version of that. So I could see where, like, if an independent director or, like, you know, somebody of that stature had $1 million budget and was like, God damn, I really want to do this from when I was a kid. And it's a passion project that turns out good. Like I think the It movie came out pretty good for what it was, and I think I mean, a lot of people disagree with me, but the Friday the 13th remake I thought was dope. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was dope. I mean, I'm alone on that a lot. Trust me, I know,
No,
but
I
at
do
the same
agree with
time,
you on
my
the Texas
favorite
Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah, I mean, my favorite movie of all time is Halloween 3, and people fucking hate that movie. So,
Oh shit, you're going with what the hell was the mask company?
Silver
Shamrock?
Shamrock.
Yeah, so you completely deviated from the plan of Halloween. You're going with the oddball. I mean, I'll never forget when I was a kid and I watched the first and second one, and I fell in love with Halloween, and that was my favorite horror movie series, or favorite set of horror movies, I should say. And I watched 1 and 2, and then I watched 3, and I was so puzzled. Like, I'm halfway into the movie, and I'm like, I have no, I don't, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? I haven't seen Michael Myers once. But it's funny because they do an Easter egg in there where when they're in that little diner, and the main character of the third one, he's sitting there on the TV screen in the background of the diner. It shows Michael Myers chasing a woman on the screen.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so now they're toying with me. But overall, I thought it was very inventive idea, and I really liked the concept of the third one a lot. I feel like it kind of fucked up the whole scheme of the movies, but I mean, at the same time, they did that by making 30 of them. You know what I mean? So they should have kept it to
Right.
the first two. The third one, I think, should have been its own thing and not
Yeah,
really
honestly,
fallen.
man, if they just called it the Season of the Witch and left it at that, and it was a standalone movie, I don't think people would hate it as much. I think it would be a lot more of a classic in other people's eyes.
I agree, and I think their thing is I think if I remember the story correctly, and I could be wrong on this, I think they sold off the rights to Halloween at that point, and then they thought they would use the name to try to get a buzz on a new style of movie, and it didn't work, and they ended up buying the rights back, and that's when they picked up Michael Myers again. Because I believe that Michael Myers originally, the plan John Carpenter had was just to be 1 and 2.
Yeah, the babies. Well, he only wanted to do one, the babysitter murder, and then they ended up calling it Halloween. And then, yeah, you're right. Mustafa Akkad, I think his name is. I don't think I pronounced it right, but he bought the rights to it, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to go a little bit of a different direction and have different things happen on Halloween." And then after that one flopped, he was like, "Oh fuck, let's do a Myers movie."
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, I definitely did like the third one. Now, I mean, I don't think I agree with you. There's a lot of them that they have done right. I've seen a lot of remakes that I thought were horrible, but there were several I liked. When they redid the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this is just me personally, I actually think the remake was better than the original.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, the originals were good and everything, but I think they were just more fucking weird than they were scary.
Right, and they had better cinematography. I mean, don't get me wrong. The classics are always God. They will always be the top notch. But as far as a film goes, I saw that movie when it came out, and I was the only one in the theater, and it made me legit uncomfortable as fuck.
It does make you uncomfortable, and in the scene where that girl reaches between her legs in the van, pulls out that fucking 44 from her snatch and blows her fucking brains out of the back of that van. First time I seen it, I jumped up and was like, "Holy fuck!" Like,
dude, not only that, it's the camera backs out of her fucking head out the back of the van. Like,
and that is one of the coolest scenes of any horror movie I've ever seen. It backs out of her head and it shows you the bullet hole and the giant brain matter in a hole in her skull. And I was like, wow, they just went to the next level. I feel there's certain moments in movies where they go to the next level, and that was one of them. Another one was a movie called The Ruins, where I'm not sure if you've seen that one or not, but they come out of the tent in the morning and they're on that Mayan temple, and they all start to lose their mind from this temple. And that girl is just cutting the chunk of her leg off with a knife, and she's just sawing it off. The way it showed the scene and how intense and brutal and vivid it was is a moment that stuck with me the last 10 years since I've seen it.
Yeah, man. I agree, man.
But like I said, most of the ones that they've done haven't been bad. Pet Sematary is coming out this year, and I will say I watched it, and it looks pretty damn impressive.
Yeah,
Now,
I saw the trailer for it, and it's gonna be weird because they're not gonna have the Gage character in it, so I'm not sure where they're gonna go, but I'm interested.
Yeah, because they have his sister being the one that gets killed by the truck, not Gage.
Right.
That's a little bit of a spin-off, and I know some people have already kind of commented on it and said that's bullshit that they're doing now, but I mean, like you said, I have to look at it from your perspective that someone looked at that movie years ago and said, I can do a version of that that's different but still very good, and I think that they should pull it off. Child's Play, the only scene I've seen up of it so far is like a 10-second scene, so it doesn't really give you anything. They could possibly do good with that, but we'll see. There's a lot of comments coming in through the application, so there's a lot of people, I don't know if you see it or not, Dean, that are commenting on the show while we're on it. My boy Ghost the Demented, Christopher Evans, he was commenting, and one of the things he said, and you might think differently, but I actually agree with him, is the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street I felt was a failure to me personally.
Oh, dude, that was a piece of hot garbage. I fucking hate that movie. Look, there's some things that can be done, but there's some characters that cannot be redone. Nobody will ever be Fred Krueger like Robert Englund.
Yeah, I don't think you can be, because his face itself, it defines Freddy Krueger.
Right.
So anybody else you put in, it's just a man in a Freddy Krueger mask. It's not Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean?
Right.
I almost feel like that with Hellraiser. Like, I don't feel like they could redo Hellraiser with someone else and get it right.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched it.
I haven't either. I just don't. I can't see it. I can't envision it anything other than the original.
Now, I will tell you one thing that I did just see. We totally got off track here, man, and I think we're running out of time. But I love horror so much, I could talk about it all night. But the last Leprechaun movie they did, not the WWE piece of garbage, but the last Leprechaun that just came out, I thought was super dope. Like, because they used some of the original characters, and I think they did it like the last Halloween movie where everything else had been erased, and this was like a new part 2. So I really enjoyed that one.
I haven't got to see that one, but I did go and see the new Halloween, and it was okay. So I mean, I look at it from two different perspectives. I think it was very good. It didn't blow me away because I kind of seen everything that was going to happen. I will give it the fact that it was very traditional, old school horror, because like when you watched it, it felt like one of the original old, like you said, part 2 of it. It actually felt like that. But I kind of seen everything coming. There was not really any shocks to it. It didn't wow me, but I felt like overall it was a very solid movie.
Everything about that movie up until the dude that captured the girl in the car, the doctor or whatever, and then the fucking Looney Tunes ending of it where she just hits him over the head with a pot and bada bing, there's Michael Myers at the bottom of the staircase, and that's it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was a little weird. I mean, this dude's been shot multiple times and just gets up like it's nothing. She cracks him with a pan. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a
My
great
weakness is
movie.
a
I'm not
fucking frying
like I
pan.
liked it, but it wasn't. They definitely used it as a sequel setup.
They definitely did. And as you said, we did get kind of off track there, but that's okay. We love horror, and that's a lot of our fans love horror, so that's a great thing we got into. But there was a couple other questions I wanted to finish up before we play your song, and then we do our shout-outs and closing statement here. But so obviously you've toured with, went many different places. You got to work with many different artists. You said, who and what's your favorite artist you've ever worked with, and what was your favorite show out of all the years that you've played?
My favorite artist I ever worked with. Oh man, that's hard because I'm very selective with who I work with, man. And I gotta say, me and my homeboy from St. Pete, D.E.A.N, who's on the last track that you're gonna play of mine, we did a whole album together called Mixed Genre Madness. And that was probably one of the funnest albums I had because it was just me and my brother sitting in a room writing these tracks together. And the album came out super awesome. And as far as shows go, I've played so many dope shows. But so the two that I will narrow it down to as being my favorite was one when I opened for Tech-9 because he's such a humble dude and he came out and shook our hands and, just treated us like we were artists, you know what I'm saying? And it felt awesome. And the Gathering as a whole, every time I've ever played the Gathering of the Juggalos, it's always been an awesome experience.
No, them are definitely great answers. I got to actually play with Tech last year, and I agree with that being actually one of my favorite shows. We got to play with a lot of artists who played hundreds of shows over the years, but that's one of my favorite because it was a very large crowd. It was a pivotal moment, not only for opening for Tech-9, but the club that we played in Pittsburgh, I've never gotten to play it. It's one of the only places, I think it's actually the only place in Pittsburgh I haven't played, and it's one of the absolute biggest venues there, which was Stage AE. And while we were waiting to go on, me and my boy Chris, who was actually commenting a little bit ago, Tech-9 came out the back door, and we exchanged words very briefly. Chris missed it by a couple seconds. He walked away for a moment. He came out of the back door, and I turned around. I was like, "What's up, Tech?" He's like, "What's up, brother?" And that's what he's, pretty much the same thing. He's like, "What's up, homie?" He said, "Go out there and kill it." And then as quick as he came, he vanished. And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right,
okay.
that's exactly
and I didn't see him
what
again after
happened.
that. His pretty much his only words were to me, "What's up, homie? Go kill it." I'm like, "All right," and we did, and it was a good fucking time. But what we're going to do, since you kind of led into that new track, since your homie's on now, and that was your favorite artist to work with, why don't you give us a little bit of a shout out into Cold, and we'll go ahead and play that, come back, and we'll wrap everything up.
All right, man. This is Cold off of my album Nocturnal Bloodlines featuring Gruesome and D.E.A.N. This is the first D.E.A.N track anybody has heard in the past 5 years, man. He came out of retirement to get on my album, so I'm super stoked about it, and he fucking murdered it, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Absolutely. This is Cold from D.E.A.N featuring D.E.A.N and Gruesome. We'll be back in just a few minutes on Uncovering the Underground.
They look at me like I must have done something wrong. They always judging my assumption is the love is gone, when all I'm doing is living and making fucking songs. They keep saying the dirt is where this punk belongs. They want me hating myself, broke on the inside, but that's not the reason that I'm hoping I can hide. I've been fucked up since a bunch of my friends died, and fake friends get me to be open and then lie. They hating on the person that they made me become. A freak show, but just know I don't hate to be one. Heart beating like the rhythm of the bass of the drums. All they really have achieved is to make me feel numb. The bottom is the spot where they've been wanting me located. It used to have me pent up and constantly frustrated. I bled a lot of positive up out of all this hatred. Now I'm making me a statement as the monster they created. This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no changing what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing.
my brain, it's what you made me be.
Listen to the voices.
I embrace the life of the night, stay away from me. I walk the left-hand path and no escape from me. I listen to the symphony of demons singing praises of my death, even though it's not a fucking reality. They say I'm wrong, my mind's gone. Nobody gives a fuck about my songs. Disappointment to the ones that I love the most. Tears fall upon me from my mother's ghost. I'm too fat, too old, still chasing those dreams down the same old road. Hearts rotten, happiness forgotten. Better go to the graveyard and dig my plot then.
This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no changing what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made me.
I've always been an outcast, always braved. I've been cursed since birth, turned away. They prayed that I wouldn't outlast the torture and the suffering, succumb to all of the sickness. Paraded around a Joker show for all of you to witness. Abandonment and loneliness have been my only friends, as everyone else just disappears or breaks my trust and pretends. And who I am from day to day, I guess it all just depends. Sometimes I can't control the urges or the pain is immense. I can't imagine if I was normal, much less if I was still alive. Cause I've embraced the darkness, you can feel the hatred in my eyes. Flames been eternally burning for my reprise. But I can feel the negativity waiting for my demise. Yo, they wanted me to fail ever since my first breath. They'll be watching, hoping, waiting till the day of my death. I've grown accustomed to everybody trying to leave me stuck in F. Gotta keep on fucking pushing till there ain't nothing left.
This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no changing what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made me be. This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no changing what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made me be.
And we're back on Uncovering the Underground. I am Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment. Tonight on the show we do have D.E.A.N, Destiny, Everything, and Nothing. And we have had an awesome interview tonight, an awesome in-depth conversation on many different topics. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did. Myself, I want to give a couple quick shout-outs before we jump off here at the end of the night, and I'll let Dean do the same. I do want to shout out Underground on Top, Sky Music Group, Underground Nation Magazine, Legion Artwork, 5 Milligram Artwork, Troll Concert and Videos, The Underground Beat, Replicon Radio, Pop Pittsburgh, DKM Beats, Sidebar, Tragic Hero Productions, Tattooed Scumbag, and Brutal Face Apparel. I want to thank all the fans for checking us out. We will be back in 2 weeks on the 28th of February, and we will be interviewing DJ Seeker, who is a dubstep and drum and bass DJ, actually out of my area, the Pittsburgh area. We're looking forward to interviewing him and getting to find out a little bit about his career, some of the things he's done and still has coming up, and certainly get in depth into some conversation there. So, we want to jump back in and thank Dean for being on the show tonight. Why don't you go ahead and, once again, tell us where we can check out your music, and then, give us some shout outs, and we'll wrap up here.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, go to autumndaletheseries.bigcartel.com. Order you some shirts, some hat pins, a hat, a movie, a comic book. Any way you can support, man, it's much appreciated. Make sure to keep up to date with the Razakel, Luna 13, and D.E.A.N tour. We'll be heading out in April. Much love to them. Bonesaw Entertainment, Autumndale the Series, Obscure Trash Clothing. Man, Google it. Google us. Find the website. keep up to date with us. And anybody that ever shows me any ounce of support, I love you from the bottom of my fucking heart, man.
Absolutely, and the same goes for me. I love you guys for listening in, supporting our music, supporting the artists that we interview and put on the show. Shout out to all the artists tonight who were featured on the Uninterrupted Underground Music Hour from 8 to 9 p.m. Much love to them. If you want to have your music considered for playing on the show, feel free to send a submission track or two with your title of your artist name and song name to brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. Again, that's brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. Subject submission for UTU, Underground on Top. If you hit me up, I'll check them out. If I'm digging it and think it'd be a good mix for the show, I'll definitely get you on. Anybody interested in getting interviewed on the show, definitely hit me up. I am booked until August as of right now. We can definitely look to book you later part of this year. And just a couple things I wanted to go into. Brutal Business Entertainment Professional Wrestling is launching this year, and we do have several events that will be in West Virginia, going to be teamed up with Code Red Wrestling. My man Ghost the Demented will be doing a lot of things coming up with that here in this next few months, and a lot of announcements will be made. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. And next guest, like I said, is DJ Seeker on the 28th. I want to give a shout out to our past guest, which would have been the Rooster from 9 Stitch Method. And make sure you check out their music. They have a new single dropping tomorrow. It's absolutely awesome. I just seen them last night with Hinder and Soil, and it was a great show. They are a part of my label, Brutal Business Entertainment. Make sure you check them out. And as always, like I said, just thank you guys as fans. Keep an eye out on March 1st. We're launching our brand new Brutal Business Entertainment website, as well as a very, very large underground rap contest with awesome prizes. So make sure you check that out. Other than that, we will see you in 2 weeks on the 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour of uninterrupted music. And then from 9 to 10:30, we'll be interviewing DJ Seeker. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Share it, hit the share button, spread it around, and you guys have a wonderful night. Once again, Dean, thank you so much for being on the show, homie. Be safe on tour, and I look forward to everything you have coming up here in the near future.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Not a problem. Well, hey, guys, it was great having you tune in tonight, and we will catch you next time here on Uncovering the Underground Podcast Radio Show.